the source. My friend, my beloved, here comes the time without time. Here comes in you and you, the time of the infinite present. The one where everything took place within the dream, the one of the oath and the promise. Finally present within the scene of the dream, in this moment where there is neither you nor me, and yet, and you and me, in the same instant of silence, in the same instant of beauty of which nothing can be said, of which nothing can be written, and of which nothing can be described. I invite you to settle down in the time of the great silence, and I invite you to value yourself beyond any consideration. I invite you to go beyond any projection, there, in the instant, where you need no alibi, no justification, in the instant where everything is perfect. Where all that could have passed no longer takes place, and has neither time nor space to exceed, because all is past, because all is exceeded, in the time of this instant, in the time of the eternal, in the time of the eternity, where nothing can be counted nor deducted. Where you are installed, in the temple of your presence, where there will never be any absence, because the absence of yourself is only the time of your resurrection, beyond any dwelling, where even the words peace and joy are too much, because only silence can give an account of it, because you're the testimony of silence, the testimony of beauty, the testimony of eternity. Where you are is where I am, we are united. We thus see the whole of the worlds having unfolded, and having unfolded again, without delay nor distance, because all is included in this nothing that you so much dreaded, in this nothing which is so majestic. I invite you to put down what you may still believe you carry, because in truth you carry nothing, neither burden nor light, being yourself the source of me as well as of you, where each one resolves itself in the other, where each one is only an infinite parcel and yet the totality of the unique truth and the unique beauty. The time has come for the great silence which is embrace, which is beauty. I have come to invite you to look within yourself, where nothing can be contemplated, because you yourself are contemplation, because you yourself are the source of all, because you yourself are the Alpha and the Omega, erasing all torment and all pain. To you the infinite beauty of life, to you the infinity of the white paradise, that of the primordial and final ether which emerges from your heaven, which emerges from your earth and which however emerges only from you. I invite you to fear nothing and to hope for nothing other than joy and peace, for this is what you are in spite of all appearances, in spite of all struggles, in spite of all history. For you have never been born, for you will never disappear beyond all form, beyond all light. You are that pure unmanifested love which nevertheless manifests itself in this time and this instant of your life, so that you join life. For you, child and father of light, where there is no attribution, nor destination, recognize yourself beyond all knowledge, all gain and all loss. You are that and you are beyond that. You cannot think it. You cannot conceive it, nor even fear it. This unknown that you are, that yet you have always known in your ways, you the pilgrim of eternity, you the pilgrim of life, having taken every path of the dream and the appearance of birth and death. You have never been able to die, for you have always been there, even if the vision was taken from you, even if the lack appeared within your consciousness. The moment you are living has come, because you are beyond what passes. You are what remains, has remained and will remain in the crystal palace of truth, that of Yerushalayim, you source of yourself, source of all the dream universes. I invite you to love yourself beyond what you think, beyond your form, beyond every other that seems to be in you and that appears in what you see in this world. There's no more room for distance. There's no more room for wandering. My friend, my beloved, rest in yourself, in your abode of truth, in the Alpha and the Omega, where there is no more way after having been always, after having been all relative truth. Time is your only real, of the one who has never moved, of the one who has no way, no path, thus putting an end to the illusion of distance, to the illusion of time, for you're the whole of space and ether, in this world as in every world, in this plane as in every plane. All that you have written and wanted has been offered to you from the instant of your first breath. In the beginning was the Word joining the silence of the end, of what could never appear. You are all this and much more. father and child of yourself, the moment when the Son of Man joins the realm of the real, which is formless and yet contains all forms. This you cannot reflect. You cannot create this, but simply find it in the evidence of the instant. My friend, my beloved, rest in the dance of your heart, in its triunitary rhythm, marking in your heart the seal of the awakening. You have never slept, you have never forgotten yourself. It is time to sing, in the silence of words, the song of deliverance. Thus, you deliver yourself from what you yourself have decided to play, to what you yourself have decided to go through in all the fields of the relative. And you no longer need a relationship, you simply have to resonate within yourself what emerges spontaneously, because that is how you have decided, and that is how the intelligence that you are, has given you the appearance of creation. You are the unthinkable. You are the unknowable which nevertheless recognizes itself, in this instant of eternity inscribed in the time of the earth as inscribed in the origin of the worlds, as inscribed in all that passes. My friend, my beloved, you no longer have to resist, you no longer have to constrain yourself. Thus is the time of the obvious. Thus is the time of the instant. Of this instant which is present, and which can be conjugated only in the present. Such is the present that you made for yourself. Such is the present that you granted yourself, whatever you can say and think about it in these moments of chaos. There has never been chaos, for everything has always been in order, for everything has always been ordered, without direction or meaning, by the absolute order of love, by the absolute order of wisdom. So I say to you, my friend, my beloved, rest in yourself. Assist yourself in these moments of resurrection. You were never born, yet you are reborn again in the realm of grace. Beyond the one consciousness, at the very source of consciousness, at the very source of light. My friend, my beloved, you express me from the depths of your heart. It is only your voice that you perceive from where I am speaking, and yet that emanates from you. Let yourself be overcome. Let yourself be lifted up by the times of the instant, by the time of grace, because time belongs to intelligence, because time is beyond form. Because time has never passed, neither in one direction nor in the other, but simply in the present instant of the present of grace and the eternity of grace. My friend, my beloved, be gentle with yourself, be gentle with everyone, for if you're gentle in the chaos that is lived in the world of appearance, in the world of the times of form, because you're the gentleness of love, because you're the gentleness of wisdom, because the time of the instant and the instant of this time, will forever remind you of what you have always been, of what you are and of what you'll be, no longer setting limits in time and space. And yet, encompassing all time as well as all space, from the lowest of time to the highest of time, from the lowest dimension to that which you have named the highest, the same good news runs through the instant. The instant of time, which neither counts nor counts down time. You are the sweetness that puts an end to chaos. You are the beauty that puts an end to the appearance of ugliness, as well as to all events. I invite you to love yourself. I invite you to love without restriction, because without restriction there is no fear, and there is no error. Love can only be true, light can only accompany it. Thus, you have accompanied yourself, in all the spaces of time, and in all the times of spaces. You are the lightness of grace. You are the intensity of life. You are the fullness of all that may have appeared to you as incomplete. Settle in the oath and the promise that we have addressed to each other, beyond any world, beyond any departure as well as any form, where there is no separation, and where there is no place for words, nor even for the word. Where there is no reflection, and where the waters above and the waters below are but the same waters, where love never fails. My friend, my beloved, listen. Listen to what silence tells you, what peace tells you, what beauty tells you. Listen to love, so you will hear yourself, so you recognize yourself, so you're the joy and the peace of the great silence. Where you have nothing to ask, where you have nothing to see, source of light, source of life, source of intelligence, source of the real, and, above all, source of truth. Rest where you are at this instant when you hear me, so that the chorus of angels accompanies you in the spirit of the Son, in the time of the impersonal and of the unconditional freedom. Everything will be done in the instant of this earth to prove what you seem to have to go through, so that no difficulty can even be thought or imagined. You are that in this moment. You are that in every moment. You are the whole of the space that resonates with the truth, the majesty of who you are. Your laughter cannot be told. Your nothingness cannot be seen. And yet all has been seen. And yet all has been said, beyond the word, beyond the waters, beyond the fire, beyond the air and the earth. Time is for the ether, time is for the primordial light, source of peace and source of life. You are all this. My friend, my beloved, my friend, my beloved, embrace yourself, as we embrace each other, one through the other, where everything has been a spectacle of all your dreams, a spectacle of all the possibilities, bringing you back to the impossible and the indescribable, where nothing passes. Where you dwell, beyond any abode as well as any abode. You are beyond everything. You are beyond nothing. You are nothing and everything. And you're the completeness of every breath. And you're the completeness of every life. And you're the completeness of each consciousness, in the fire which however it is not burning, which puts you back in the joy, so that you know that you never left you in truth, so that you know that you're only this peace and this joy, peace and joy of the great silence, peace and joy of the density as well as of the lightness. And it is the time of this instant. And it is the time of the present. And it is the time of the gift. And it is the time of grace. Do not stop at my words. Do not seize anything, because there is nothing to seize. This is restitution and this is beauty. My friend, my beloved, you who have been all the stories, you who have been all the memories as well as all the testimonies, you are invited to this, in the instant of the present, in the instant of this earth. For whatever you see, in the appearances of violence as well as suffering, there is only the return to what has never moved. It is only the return of the Son of Man, the return of the prodigal Son, Son and Father of the light. So you're Abba, so you're Christ, so you're all the opposite games. You have only played in the workshops of creation. You, the pilgrim of eternity, can lay down your staff, you can give up your weapons, you can strip yourself of all these garments, you can lay down all your costumes, so you'll be in the nudity of truth. Thus you're in the nudity of love, where there is nothing to oppose, nor even to demonstrate. Thus you're this. Thus you are that, which cannot be defined, which is neither finite nor infinite, but simply undefined beyond the Alpha and the Omega, beyond the Word and beyond the Word, being all your identities. So you let go of all identity. So, you let go of everything that may seem to clutter you up. Such is the time of this grace which never ceases. Such is the time of the instant of the earth. Such is the instant of your beauty. Listen, beyond all understanding. Listen, beyond all world, you who are impersonal, you who are in all within in the time of truth, the time of silence that ends the appearance of chaos, that ends the appearance of all world. Rest, where you have always been. It is now time to turn away from all dreams and all projections. This is the time of tranquility. So is the temple of serenity. Thus are the elements united in the ether of joy, the ether of truth. My friend, my beloved, accept to be what you are, because in truth, you cannot be anything else than what you are in this instant of the earth time. And it is in this instant of the earth's time, that you manifest the oath and the promise. It is the time of the reunion of what was never born, with all that was born of you and of each one. Thus is the one consciousness, diffract to the infinity of possibilities. I invite you to listen to yourself in the three-beat dance of your heart, which installs this silence. Thus is the time of forgetting, of all that has only passed, of all that has been heavy as well as light, because you have no weight, nor any baggage to take with you, wherever or to whomever, because in truth, you are you, and because in truth, you are beauty, and because in truth, you are that. Love yourself unconditionally and reabsorb all that is past. Reabsorb your own sufferings, which will be consumed in the fire of love, which is fire of glory, which is fire of resurrection, an unlimited fire which will never burn you. Time is for the dissolution of the dream. The time is for the dissolution of what may have appeared to you as suffering. The time, in the heart of your heart, to understand this. The time to love yourself, where nothing foreign to love remains, where nothing has been rejected, where nothing has been refused. Thus is the freedom, the one that does not ask itself the question of freedom. You are from everywhere as you are from nowhere. You are just that in the instant of earth time. In this instant, from now on, in the infinity of the worlds, the silence of your zero time resounds. In the time of silence emerges that which has never been taken away, so that you're forever the one who has always been there, the one who is, whatever the words, whatever the experiences. Rest in silence. Rest in beauty, my friend, my beloved. Silence. The time of the instant of time, the one that is there, here and now, where there is no more world, where there is no more assembly, where there is no authority other than that of love and wisdom. Accept yourself. You are nothing of what you believe. You are nothing of the paths you have traveled. You are nothing of the experiences you have lived. You are the immutability of love, the immutability of wisdom. My friend, my beloved, hear this resonance. It leads you to silence. It crosses every memory as it crosses every world, as it pierces every heart at every form and of every space. My friend, my beloved, here comes the time so dreaded. Here comes the time so hoped for, so that you may live that it has always been there, that no veil can resist, that no idea can thwart, because you, everything comes back to you, everything comes back to you and everything is brought back to the instant of the present. This is your due. This is your only duty. And this is your only freedom. Do not be affected. Do not be surprised. Do not be surprised by the surprise of the truth. You are love. You are wisdom. You are light. You are intelligence. And you're much more than that. There's nothing above you that embodies the instant of earth time. There in the body that you inhabit, accept yourself, and embrace yourself. Don't put up any barriers. Don't put a concept. Don't put a word. Don't put any condition. Put yourself there alone and naked. You don't need clothes, neither the shadow ones, nor the light ones, because you're inside and nowhere else. You who come from all sides to meet this instant of oath and promise together, in the same fire of joy, where you will see, and you do see, that nothing can be destroyed of what is true. The mirage dissipates, the mirage of form, the mirage of consciousness. My friend, my beloved, listen. Listen to the silence. It tells you the truth, without words and without images, and ultimately with you and me, and without anyone. Silence. Listen to the silence because it is joy, because it is rightness, rightness of love, rightness of the Absolute. Present yourself to yourself. Accept. Accept. Feel what lives, what is there. Where there is nothing to describe, but simply to notice what is there and which has never moved. It is only you, in your majesty and in your royalty. Such was your kingdom that belongs to no world. Such is your light, the source of all. Such is the light, which never casts a shadow and which crosses every world, here on this earth, with a crash, and at the same time with sweetness, and at the same time with such a rightness, that we can never understand it, but only accept it. For this is the time of grace, for this is the time of beauty, for this is the time that what has never been true, because you're the only true one. Allow yourself to love. Allow yourself to love. You are that natural. You are nothing else, although it may have appeared to you that you were everything else. There will be nothing left but love. There will be nothing left but wisdom. The one who can do nothing. The one who needs nothing, neither comparison, nor understanding, and yet is so natural and so immutable at the same time. My friend, my beloved, in the instant of the great silence, we join without delay and without distance. My friend, my beloved, that ye are. My friend, my beloved, beauty holds out to you her heart which is your heart. Thus is the rhythm of what seems to appear and disappear. But you are no other rhythm than that of the fusion of this instant with all the instants of the creation. Such is the embracing of the truth. Such is the embracing of love. Such is the embracing of wisdom. Silence. Time is for rest, time is for the silence of my words. Time is for the silence of your words. Simply be the receptacle of what is, and also the receptacle of what is happening. You will find there the absence of fear, the absence of fright, and the absence of any doubt. You have nothing else to undertake in this present time of the earth. You are in the right place, that of this body that you live in, as in the time of these troubled times, there only the trouble of the dream, which dissolves the illusion, which dissolves the false. Silence. My friend, my beloved, I'm with you in these ultimate wards, in these ultimate moments, where time has no more hold, where the form has no interest, you are this and you are that. Silence. I bless your silence. I bless your space. I bless your vehicles. Silence. And I gather your blessing. My friend, my beloved, I am silent now, and I remain here, forever, present to each other, present in each other. Such is the present of this earth. Such is the gift of grace of these instants in whatever guise it may be. My friend, my beloved, the silence is made. The silence is lived. The time is for love. It is the time of truth. There's nothing to hide. There's nothing to take away. And the silence is made. And the silence is silent. Silence. I withdraw you. You withdrawing to me. My friend, my beloved, you are the blessing. Through Jean-Luc Ayon. With Elisa Bernal. July 23, 2021. English translation, LMF.